What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the Blazers Uprise Postgame show. The Blazers suffer their most pathetic loss of the season, losing in Minnesota to a Timberwolves team who was also missing their second and third best players. It'll be interesting to see what excuses fly for this one, because I don't think any of them apply, even for the people that love to make those excuses, because my goodness, this game was absolutely pathetic. Hope you guys are having a good night. Otherwise, hope you guys have enjoyed your Sunday so far. It's a little sad that the Blazers have to put a damper on that with the way they played tonight. We're going to go in. I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. I am, just so... What did I say last post-game show? I said the Blazers have not shown consistent enough improvement over any of their issues in terms of their style of play. In my opinion, they haven't shown enough improvement whatsoever. I'm not sure if they've improved at all. You'll see flashes here and there, right? And it kind of tricks you into thinking, okay, they're finally improving, and then they regress. It is literally never consistent progress with this team. It was that way last year. It's been that way this year. At the All-Star break, you had Terry Stotts and Robert Covington and, other guys talking about, the goal in the second half, I think we can be a top 10 defense the second half. And I am so frustrated with it being all talk, all bark, and no bite with this team, man. We got by on an easy early season schedule, okay? That's why we had the record we did headed into the All-Star break. That's the honest truth. I've been saying that. Now, we have an easy schedule, and we almost lost to the Minnesota freaking Timberwolves on back-to-back nights. It took Carmelo Anthony turning into Nuggets prime Melo to save us from losing to the Timberwolves on back-to-back nights. A Timberwolves team that was going into these two games with a record of 8-29. That had that record when they've been healthy for some games. They're not even healthy, and we still almost lost both these games to them. They were without their second and third best players in D'Angelo Russell and Malik Beasley. Anthony Edwards might make the case for the third best player at this point with the way he performed tonight. We could not slow him down. It seemed like the answer might have been sitting right there on the bench for Terry Stotts to substitute in the game, but he chose to go with Rodney Hood over Derrick Jones Jr. Lots of frustrating things in this one. Eric, how are you doing?
I've been better. It's just frustrating. I'm sick of this crap, man.
I'm ready for a new damn coach. I'm ready for a new, I don't care about Olshey. Olshey should have gotten a new coach a while ago, so he can go for all I care. I am tired of the feeling around this team and the style of play in which this team plays with, man. It's not fun to watch. It's not going to help you consistently win, right? We have a lot of talent on this team, so sure, we might finish the season 10 games above 500. But you look at this team tonight in the way they played, getting CJ and Nurkic back is not going to make this team competitive in the first round. With Damon or with CJ and Nurkic back, man, they could be playing against the Dallas Mavericks, the Memphis Grizzlies, even with the way we play basketball. I feel like they should be favored in a first round series against us. The way this team plays basketball is just ridiculous. It's frustrating. I'm tired of it. I want change. Not only just so we have a better chance and the chance that Dame deserves, but just so I can actually enjoy watching this team play basketball, because I don't know how anybody enjoyed this game tonight. And that's sad. That's sad. I can enjoy a loss if some of the basketball I'm watching is enjoyable. But I've been watching college basketball lately, so much more enjoyable than watching the Blazers go out there and stand at half court for half the shot clock every possession, then jack up an isolated contested three. It's so much better than watching the Blazers loaf around on defense and not box out. And, the Timberwolves miss some shots. So, it looks like we're playing good defense, and then they turn it on. They start making some shots. They got wide open shots all game long. I don't want to hear anything good about our defense. I don't think it was anything to do with our defense. It was due to us playing a team that is trash. Overall, just extremely frustrated, and this is just all of our frustrations coming to a head, I feel like.
Yeah, it's like you mentioned this last night. You mentioned it when the schedule came out. the back-to-back games against teams is not good for this team, and that is because our coach absolutely sucks, and he doesn't make any changes. It's like, oh, we beat Minnesota last night. All we have to do is show up to this game, and we got it won. We don't have to do anything different than last night because we won, right? So the offense will work itself out. We don't have to work on that at all. The defense is getting improved because we won last night, right? Never mind that we gave up 121 points because we got the victory without two of our top three guys, right? So that's all we need. He has all the excuses lined up, and then you go into this game, you don't make a single freaking adjustment. You don't freaking do anything different. You just show up and play ball, and it was obvious right from the beginning. I mean, how long did it take us to score a freaking point? We had 2 points in the first 5 minutes of this game. We did not even think we needed to be here tonight. It's just pathetic. I mean, there's no excuse for this. If you want to make the playoffs and be an upper echelon team in the West, you cannot lay eggs like this on games that you need in the standings. This is going to come back to possibly cost us maybe even playing, being a top 6 seed and having to play in the play-in series or whatever to even make the playoffs. Games like this will be the reason why. And then I'll have to hear people like, oh, well, we made the playoffs and we played the Lakers. What were we supposed to do? We can't, no team is good on offense against the Lakers. It's like, well, we shouldn't even have been playing the Lakers. Like last year, we shouldn't have been the 8th seed. We blew so many games like this where we shouldn't have been the 8th seed and fighting for our playoff lives in the bubble and needing Karis LeVert to miss a shot at the end just to make the play-in game. But people will then use that as an excuse, like, well, Stotts got us into the playoffs, and Stotts, what's he supposed to do? No coach was going to beat the Lakers with this roster. So, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm so tired of the small market mindset. You got to think like a contender to be like a contender. This team is so far away from mentally being a contender, and it starts with the head coach. What is Terry Stotts going to say in the post-game news conference today? We just missed shots. Anthony Edwards, he got hot. It's just in losses like these happen. It's tough to beat the same team twice in a row. Bruh, that excuse, especially when you get to the playoffs, guess what? To win a series, usually you have to beat a good team twice in a row. Right? But no, it's hard to beat the same team twice in a row. So, it's okay that we lost to the Timberwolves. That's basically going to be the attitude. And you already had Jordan freaking Kent literally adopting that mindset as the final buzzer rang. He's sitting here saying, it's hard to beat the same team 2 nights in a row or something like that. And it's just like, shut up, man. It's so frustrating. I'm so tired of the non-competitive small market mindset. I want a championship. So I think competitively in terms of holding this team to the standard of a contender. Meanwhile, this team, I feel like, does not. And there will be a million excuses for this game. You have people throwing out the personnel excuse, even though we lost to an 8-30 team, missing their 2 best players. You have people throwing out the injury excuse. They're injured. You have people throwing out every excuse in the book. And it's like this team's mentality has... The media has a lot of Blazer fans adopting that same mentality where it's just excuse after excuse after excuse. Meanwhile, we got the best player in franchise history, in my opinion, and it's almost like we're just wasting his prime because we're kind of running on a treadmill because this team can't progress towards a championship, right? That's what I said this year. I said at the start of the season, you know what, we might have to lose some games here and there in order to get down different defensive schemes, but guess what? It'll pay off later in the season. It'll pay off in the playoffs. You might lose a couple games trying to improve the style of play, but guess what? You'll make up for it later in the regular season, and you'll be much better prepared for the playoffs. But nope, we've seen no progress. No progress with this team whatsoever all season long. They're still trash defensively. Their offense is still amateurish at best, looking like it's straight out of the YMCA rec league. It's frustrating, man. And it's frustrating that this team seems stuck, and it's because of the coach. It's because of the coach, 100%. It's because of the way they play, which is an indictment on the coach.
Yeah, 100%. And this is the reason. So we go, the first quarter, LA, in the series, right? We actually do some things. And what did I say after that game? We're all celebrating a win. What did I say? Do you remember, Tori?
I don't remember. I barely slept.
I said you can't just say, okay, this worked in game 1 in the first quarter or whatever. It'll work in all 7 games, and we just have to come out and, like, you know, do the same thing. No, like, a good team will adjust. And even if something works, you have to make an adjustment and keep on making adjustments. Like, you have to have a guy like CJ go crazy, or a guy like Damian Lillard scoring 50 points and hitting a step back 37-footer to win playoff games if you have crap coaching. And that's exactly what happened in our Western Conference Finals run. And now all these clowns say, oh, well, he made the Western Conference Finals, like, he's the greatest coach ever. Like, no other coach could have ever possibly made the Western Conference Finals.
And you know why they say that? It's because that small market mindset. That is like a godly achievement to them.
Yep. And I don't want them to, like, lose, and I want them to be good. I want them to get up into the top 4 in the West. Like, I want them to be there. I feel like this roster, even with the injuries, if you just look at the games we played and don't look at it stupidly from we're 21-14. How much better did you expect once CJ and Nurk went down? Well, you know what? I didn't expect them to lose to Minnesota tonight. So, like, I guarantee you, I expect them to be 1 game better than they are right now. So, like, shove that excuse up your. Yeah.
Well, I wish Terry Stotts would take his head out of his. I wish I could say good things about him, because I don't want to sit here frustrated at him. I don't like being frustrated. I don't like feeling like this. I wish Terry Stotts was the best coach in the league, and I could say Terry Stotts is amazing. And guess what? You know, we actually didn't need Aaron Gordon because Terry Stotts is such a good coach. You know, I wish I didn't have to make Aaron Gordon jokes as if that's the reason he's struggling. No, this dude has his head stuck up in a place where it doesn't belong, and it's frustrating. It's been like that. And, oh my goodness, man. Shout out Spacey, before I forget, Spacely Sprockets, $2 dono. He says, who hired Jordan Kent? I hate all of his commentary. I mean, the organization did, and he toes the company line very well, so I'm sure they're happy with it, and he was probably a cheaper hire than some of the other options out there, considering he didn't have any play-by-play experience. So, you know, saves money, toes the company line, that's their guy. You know, nothing personal against Jordan Kent. He just has no experience, and honestly, he's probably being forced to say the things he does. So I'm sitting here like, Kent, shut up. But it's directed basically towards the front office, because I feel like they have just a grip on him, and it's just like, you better make every excuse in the book, which is just speaks to the main problem, which is just the mindset of the organization, in my opinion. It's frustrating. I am extremely frustrated right now. So one thing that pissed me off, Eric, why does Rodney Hood play 25 minutes in this game and Derrick Jones Jr. plays 20?
Dude, who the heck knows? I don't understand anything that's happening.
Derrick Jones Jr. was a minus 11, I guess. He was 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. But, like, I mean, he missed a couple threes and missed a couple contested lanes. Like, he's not really hurting the team by, like, jacking up bad shots or whatnot. You had a scenario in the fourth quarter, right, where Anthony Edwards gets on fire. And we're guarding him with Rodney freaking Hood, who can't move. I've tried to I feel like I've kind of been overly positive in regards to Rodney Hood. You know, and I've tried to be patient with him and give him as fair of a chance as I can. I'm about at the point where I'm done with him playing. Okay? Mm-hmm. And it sucks. Man, I wish he didn't get hurt. I feel bad for him. I truly do. But if this team is going to contend, you got to make some tough decisions, and that's one of them. I'm about done with him playing. I mean, you look at Nas playing 19 minutes. Why didn't Nas play more than him? Nas was also 2 for 5 like Rodney Hood, you know, and he can play some defense. No, instead you have Rodney Hood on Anthony Edwards, and then all they have to do is set a simple pick and roll, and we automatically switch Melo onto him, and Melo can't keep up with him. It's a mismatch.
Or we have Dame randomly on him.
Yeah, you know, it's just so stupid. And it's like we saw that. Like, I get it. If you start off the fourth quarter kind of like that and see it a couple times, it's like, oh, okay, well, we can't do this. We need to make a change. Like, okay, yeah. You know, we probably shouldn't have done it in the first place, but okay, at least you recognize that. They don't even recognize it as a problem. How many possessions did we go where we have Dame, Hood, Melo on the court, Hood guarding Anthony Edwards, who goes off for a career-high 34 points in this one? And it's like we don't even see it as a problem. We took forever to call a timeout at the start of the fourth quarter. I believe we were down 4. Yeah, we were down 4 to start the fourth quarter. Like, we get down 12 and still no timeout call, and it's like we're just mashed up stupidly, playing stupid defense, not running a single set offensively, and it's just like, how do people sit here and see this and excuse it?
They think for some reason we don't have the personnel to run a simple set. It's so lame. But
it's like it's like, oh, the personnel is the problem. Rodney Hood can't defend. Then bench him for somebody who can.
Yeah. Yep. But the perfect example of how crappy our defense is, we actually got a stop on this play. But Edwards was going crazy, you know. He had a career high. I think he had like 32 points at this point. There's like a minute and a half left. We desperately need a stop. I think we're down 5 or 7 or something like that. And he finds himself just standing wide open for a 3, and he ends up missing it. But like, that's how bad our defense is. Like, the hottest player on the court, the guy who has a career high, we just forget to guard him and leave him wide open for a 3-pointer at once, up like one simple pass. And it wasn't any sort of like, they weren't running a set really either. He was just standing on the opposite side of the court when they swung it to him, and he was wide open. And like I said, thankfully he missed that and gave us a shot. But like that's how bad our defense is. We lost that guy, and he had killed us up until that point of the game.
You know what I don't understand? It's just like, okay, so they go small. They don't play Canner down the stretch. Okay, I kind of get that against this team. I kind of get that. But like, why is Hood in the game? You know, like, you just throw out a lineup out there that includes Nas, Derrick Jones Jr., and Robert Covington. 3 guys that can defend and can hit some shots. You know, Derrick Jones Jr. has been shooting the ball very well lately. Nas, we know he can hit shots. He's kind of he's struggling a little bit, but he can slash and he can offensive rebound. You know, guys that can be productive on both sides of the floor. You know, shoot, if you want to keep Melo on the floor, then keep Melo on the floor and run those 4 guys 2 through 5. You know, because Gary Trent Jr., honestly, like, the way he plays, Melo kind of plays like that on the perimeter. They're similar enough that it's like, I don't think there's much of a difference offensively, you know, if they're just kind of spotting up, because Gary Trent Jr. ain't dribbling the ball or making plays for anybody else, you know, then do that. Do that, and then hide Melo on a Josh Okogie, and then you're switching, you know, you have a Derrick Jones Jr. on Anthony Edwards, and maybe they're screening with Roko's guy, and you're switching Roko onto him or something. I don't know, but my goodness, it's like, I shouldn't have to come up here and just hypothetically come up with sound coaching decisions, because they should be being made, right, by an NBA coach. But the way they were defending that whole fourth quarter was just ridiculous. It was just ridiculous, man. The way they were matched up, the fact that they were switching Melo onto him pretty much automatically, and then the fact that we saw it time and time again, did call timeout. It was just mind-boggling to me.
I mean, doesn't surprise me, though. I mean, this is how this team operates. Let's get to a few donations real quick. Shaggy Squid with Australian $5 donation. He says, I'm just waiting for Stotts not to be fired this offseason because he has 1 year left. I don't know if I can stand by this team next year if he stays. So it's kind of a tricky situation. A lot of times with an established coach like Stotts, they won't want to coach next season on a 1 year deal. They either want to be let go or they want to have the job security of a longer term extension. And I got DM during the game, like, what would you do if they actually signed Stotts to an extension? And like, I'm never gonna stop rooting for the Blazers, but like, that might be the final straw for me, like, if that happened. Hopefully we're not talking about that later this year.
Oh my goodness, that's scary.
Unless, like, for some reason, like, we win a championship and he changes or something, I don't know. But, like, yeah, so usually it's called, like, a lame duck situation. So I think if we struggle to make the playoffs or if we lose in the first round, I can't imagine Stotts being brought back unless it's like because Dame got hurt or something. I hope that doesn't happen, knock on wood. But yeah, I don't know what your thoughts on that are, but
I mean, it's just I don't know. Like this franchise at some point is going to have to grow a pair, so to say. You know, like at some point this franchise is going to have to hold itself to a higher standard, because they hold themselves to a standard where this is okay. And when you listen to the way the media covers the team and the way the commentators talk about the team, this is completely fine, you know? Just the way this team plays basketball, you know, it's just completely fine, you know? And if it's not fine, you know, it's Olshey's fault or whatever the hell. Like, fine, get rid of Olshey, get rid of Stotts, clean house, okay? Like, just there needs to be a heightened bar, so to say. Like, every season, it's like, is this the season they're actually going to hold themselves to a contender standard? You know what I mean? Like, every season I go into it like, and you hear the way the players talk, and it's like, this year's like, oh, yeah, we need to start hot this year, and, you know, I mean, we want to win a championship. But it's like, those words mean nothing to me. Just like their words about, yeah, let's try and be a top 10 defense in the second half of the season don't mean anything to me. You know, it's about actions. Actions speak louder than words. This team does not act like a team that's trying to contend. This team does not play like a team that's trying to contend. And there needs to be a change. Olshey, my hope is Olshey realizes that and will make a change after this offseason. You know, because honestly, the onus will have to fall on him. Yeah, and if he doesn't have a problem with this, Eric, he needs to be fired too.
Yeah, absolutely. If Olshey is not watching this team going, what the heck are they doing? Like, this is not the team that I envisioned when I signed these players. These are not the things I expected to change and be better this year. I was not expecting to have these same problems. I was promised that they would be different this year with different personnel. I got him the personnel that he was looking for to implement different defensive schemes, and we're not doing anything different defensively. What is going on here? Either address it immediately or you are done. Like, that's what my conversation would be with him, because like this is going to make Olshey's job on the line. And like, I know a lot of people hate Olshey, but I think he's done, you know, at least an average job at worst, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, you can argue maybe slightly better than average, slightly worse than average, whatever. But like, he hasn't been like awful, in my opinion. So it's frustrating. And then Lamar Hurd actually started to talk about this at the beginning of the second half. He was like, well, what you can't do is be like complacent and not accountable for improving just because you won last night. And that's exactly the point we've been trying to make all year, is that just because you stole the ball and got a jump ball and a miraculous 3 from Dame against Chicago, you shouldn't be like, yes, celebrate that you won, but you should be sitting there saying, you know what, we played like crap, we did not deserve to win this game, we need to be better. Instead, it's like, oh, we got the win, we're so good, we don't have our injured guys, and we're still 21-14, like, this is awesome. And like, you know, and that's the same thing, like, oh, we won last night, you know, we're gonna roll in tonight and win again. Like, that's how they act, and they don't have any sort of accountability, and that starts with the head coach and the way he just lets his players do whatever he wants. And I don't believe that any kind of coach, even if it was like a super strict coach, I don't think it would make teams like, or the players on this team, not want to play basketball or not want to be a Blazer anymore. Like,
yeah, I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't even want to bring up that argument. Like, we could. The thing is, like, we try and just show how ridiculous so many pro Stotts and personnel and excuse arguments are. Like, that's why we constantly bring them up, because they're just so silly. And when you think about things in the right context, they're even more silly. But I mean, it just goes back to mindset, and everything you're talking about right there, mindset. It comes down to holding yourself to a contender status. And some people would argue, you know, Stotts does hold him accountable, but I would clap back with, it's either not the right type of accountability, you know, he's not holding them accountable for the right things, and or he's not holding them accountable enough. And if he is, then he has completely lost the team.
Yeah, then they're not
you know?
responding to what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like if the team is playing like this and he is like trying his hardest to get them to play a better style of basketball and they're just like not running the sets he wants run and not running the defensive schemes he wants run, and it's just they don't improve when he points things out in film, then he has lost the team and he needs to go. But let me do you want to respond to that before I think?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, for years you could like audibly hear his thoughts on the court yelling pretty much every time we got the ball to run, and they never ran, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like years went by, run, every possession you could hear his thoughts yelling it, and they never ran a transition. It was like, why are you yelling every play if they're not doing that, and if they aren't doing what you want them to do? We heard it a few games ago. What did he say? He was like, someone asked him what he said in a timeout or something, and he said, I told him to share the ball. And like, but they didn't share the ball. So like, why are you not like enforcing something to make them do something about it? Like, it's like, whoa, I told them to share the ball. They didn't. It's not my fault they're not adjusting or doing anything. Like, it's like so dumb. It's like, at this point, it's like you said, actions have to speak louder than words. And I'm sick of hearing all the words. Like, prove it on the court that you're going to do something different or get the heck out of here, man.
Yep. All the talk about doing a bunch of different things defensively at the start of the season were pretty empty words too. It's just this organization is full of them, and it's so frustrating, and I'm so over it. Shout out Kyle Wilson, $5 donor. He says, if only there was another player we could play besides Hood and Derrick Jones Jr. when we need offense and defense. Cough, Nasir Little, cough. I'm not even in the mood to fake cough there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's been playing good basketball. Even when his three ball isn't falling, he still has a positive impact on the game because he plays defense, he hustles, he rebounds, he can finish inside, he can slash. Like, he's not a guy who has to be knocking down three-point shots in order to be valuable, but it's almost like Terry Stotts views it as if he's not knocking down three-point shots, he's not valuable. That's the vibe I get, and it's frustrating as hell. Meanwhile, you got Anthony Edwards hitting a bunch of three-point shots, and it's like the logic doesn't work the other way, where, maybe we should play somebody to stop that, because if three-pointers are so good for us, then they're probably really good for the other team too. But it doesn't work like that, it seems, in terms of the mentality of Terry Stotts. So, yeah, extremely frustrating. I want to bring up, they ran a couple sets today and got great looks. The most notable one, Melo throwing a dime of a lob pass to a backdoor Nasir Little for a dunk. You have all these people that say we can't do stuff like that because we don't have Aaron freaking Gordon. I need to learn his middle name, honestly. But yeah, we don't have Aaron Gordon.
Looking it up?
Yeah, I am looking it up. Because we don't have Aaron Addison Gordon on our team. We can't throw that lob pass. We just don't have the personnel, right? But then when it does happen, right? Oh, what a great pass, Melo. Great call, Stotts. Great play. And then, when they play stagnant offense and stand around at half court, it's right back to, well, we just don't have anybody that can throw a backdoor lob pass. It's like, did you guys, forget what you saw the quarter before? It's so baffling to me that how back and forth people get, and they don't realize that they're almost contradicting themselves. It's like, wow, I didn't realize that was possible, according to you, that Melo threw that backdoor lob. But guess what? What were you saying on the post-game show yesterday? Melo is a capable passer. And I agree. For as much heat as I give Melo, I agree. He's a smart player. He's a more willing passer now than I think he was in his prime, just because he's not quite the same level of scorer as he used to be. And 2 nights in a row, he had 5 assists. He had a dime to Nasir Little. He had another play.
Backdoor by Dame.
Yeah. Yeah, he can pass the ball. These players are capable of making basic passes. That's always been my argument. And it's like, we'll see a couple sets where it's like, oh, wow, look, they are capable of making passes. And, oh, look, we ran something, basic that was other than, I don't even want to say creative. Because, Nasir Little, spinning and going backdoor isn't that creative. But, for Terry Stotts, that's creative. It's like, we run that occasionally and we get great looks. And then we go back to, okay, let's run circles around the arc. Let's run the circle offense. We don't run the triangle offense. We run the circle offense. And then let's stand out at half court. And let's set screens for Dame at half court. Check my media tab of my Twitter page, by the way, if you're kind of curious as to what I'm talking about when I say this team doesn't set up Dame well against traps at all. Watch that play. The latest video I posted on Twitter in my media tab, that play is a perfect example of us just screwing Dame over, setting him a double screen at half court, and then he gets trapped at half court line, doesn't have an outlet, and we have to call timeout. Or I think we got bailed out by a foul or something. Like, it's just so frustrating. There's so many things, man, that we've said over and over and over and over again, and I don't know. It's so frustrating, man. It's so, God, I'm so just disheartened right now.
And here's the other thing. So the threes weren't falling, right? We hit like 3 in the first, I think we were like 3 for something at one point, like really bad. I think we're down around like 20% on threes at one point in the second half for the game. It's like, why don't you throw more of those like lob passes to Little? Why aren't you having cuts to Derrick Jones Jr. doing the same thing? Like, where was those plays for Derrick Jones Jr. tonight? Get him going with because like, you know, he's been finishing lately inside, and that's gotten his 3-point shot going. I feel like he's more comfortable when he makes a lay-in or a dunk than he shoots his 3 with more confidence. And it's like it's like, oh, what's the solution? Keep shooting threes, shoot more threes, set the record for all-time attempts, and by gosh, we'll make one eventually, right? Mm-hmm. Like, no, like, we're not getting to the free throw line. We're not getting good shots. Like, I don't know. It just
more than half our field goal attempts tonight were 3-point shots, despite the fact that the 3-point shot wasn't falling, and despite the fact that Karl Anthony Towns is their center.
Yeah,
he's their center, bro.
Yep.
And we can't attack him. He's one of the worst rim protecting centers in the league. And we're sitting here settling for like step back contested threes out of isolation constantly. And then we just didn't make shots. But bro, the stats back it up. We shoot in terms of our 3-point looks, the highest percentage of them are contested compared to any other team in the league. We don't get, we have the lowest 3-point shot quality on average in the entire NBA, right? That shows the lack of creativity in terms of the sets that they run, and that shows that this team just settles for too many threes. And it's frustrating, man. It's like, we said that last year, and we said that before the season, that's been a problem with this team. And then it's like, you see it play out for half a season, and the stat, I had never realized you could find a stat for that. For percentage of 3-point shots that are contested. And guess what? It backs us up. Because we're 100% right. Because we actually pay attention and don't look for an excuse for everything that happens out there on the court.
Yep, it's very frustrating.
Sorry, I'm very ranty today.
It's okay. No, we need to rant. It's well within rant time, in my opinion.
Another thing that's been pissing me off is this team seems allergic to boxing out. That kind of hurt us down the stretch. If we box out, we probably win this game. We just box out consistently, but we don't. I mean, we gave up only 5 offensive rebounds. It was a lot better than yesterday, but there was a key offensive rebound we gave up down the stretch simply because we're not boxing out. Like, it's so frustrating how every game there's multiple possessions where I'm just pulling my hair out because a guy just watches the ball go up and doesn't box out. Mm-hmm. And in some games, it's not as bad, but there's some games where it's terrible. Last game it was terrible. This game, there's especially down the stretch, you got to have that attention to detail if you're going to come back from a double-digit deficit. You got to do the little things.
Yep, and yeah, that's another thing we'll hear tonight. Oh, we're just not doing the little things to get wins. That's probably another quote.
Somebody just needs to say, okay, well, why not?
Yeah. I would just want someone, the next time they say, like, oh, they outworked us tonight, or they just wanted it more, I want them to say, why have you been saying that after so many games this season?
Yeah.
Like, at what point are you just going to stop saying that and just say like you guys don't want it and you're not playing hard enough or whatever? Like, at what point is that going to be the narrative versus just always having an excuse? Oh, we're shorthanded. Can't do anything. Yeah, it drives me crazy.
Delano says, who do we want to replace Stotts, which is a question we've gotten a million times. I know you're not in here all the time, so you probably haven't seen it, but I've answered it so much, I honestly just don't even feel like answering it at this point. Basically, any coach that can get ball movement and knows how to run a defense. That could be somebody who I don't know. That's my simple answer. That's my simple answer.
I'm trying to look up a stat real quick.
All right, what's that you trying to look up?
I was trying to get. Oh, okay, I got it. So going into this game, we're dead last in 3-pointers with no one within 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So dead last. That's an amount of attempts we have per game. We're first in both 4 to 6 feet with having a defender and 2 to 4 feet, and second in 0 to 2 feet.
Yep.
So wide open we're last. The other 3 distances were all either first or second, take the most amount of contested shots. So.
And if somebody makes the argument that, well, we have really good shooters, so they guard us a lot more tightly on the three-point line than other teams, the perfect retort is, okay, why don't we use them extending their defense so hard towards the three-point line against them and get more buckets inside?
Exactly. That those lob plays would be open every time if that was the case. And 2, like, yeah, I actually had someone tell me last night, well, Robert Covington is a better shooter when he has a guy right in his face holding his hand, like, contesting the shot. And I was like, okay, so you're telling me that you would rather have Robert Covington take a contested 3 than get a wide open 3. I know some guys like a defender there and don't like to be left wide open, but, like, you've got to be kidding me that people are actually trying to make the argument with me last night that contested 3s are better shots than open ones. Like, so stupid.
That's just another one of the excuses, man. They will always come up with something, and it'll be absolutely ridiculous, man. And it's ridiculous. Oh, God. I don't even know, man. I'm just so spent mentally on this team, to be honest. Just, my goodness. It's frustrating.
Yep.
They fall to, what, 22-16. Should have been 23-15. Could have gained a game on Utah.
Clippers are getting blown out right now.
Could have gained a game on the Clippers.
Denver lost last night.
So the Clippers, if they lose, would have been 25-15. We could have been 23-15. We could have been a game back, but instead we lose to the freaking Timberwolves. We would have been in 5th place ahead of Denver. Yeah, frustrating. And it's funny, I look at the standing sheet, 22-16, right? Let's say we win this game by 2, 20, and we're 23-15. You look at our point differential, and it's negative. Against an easy schedule. It kind of is a little bit of a red flag. You know, I don't really care too much about that, but it shows you that we're getting blown out a lot when we lose and then barely winning when we win against an easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like that when CJ and Nurkic were healthy.
Yep.
But I don't know. Let's give a little bit of optimism, okay? It sounds like CJ is going to return the next week. It sounds like Nurkic should return in the next week. We get those guys back and there will be some, excitement watching the team again, just because, missed having those guys on the court and it'll be nice to see them back out there. And maybe this team finally is like, okay, well, now that we don't have an excuse, we'll pull our head out and we'll start fixing these issues. But I don't have my hopes up for that. I'm not saying I expect that. I don't expect that. Mm-hmm. But maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to sugarcoat things. I'm not good at sugarcoating things though.
It does like give us a little bit more margin of error, like I was saying last night, to be bad like in a game like this and maybe win. But here's the problem. Like, let's say they call that a charge on day and like we get the ball there and win the game, or they don't call the offensive foul on Roca or whatever. and we win this game, like we didn't deserve to win, first of all, and then second of all, like this is what we were talking about all season, how results are not necessarily the best thing. Yes, you'd rather win the game tonight than lose them, but like that wouldn't have excused how poorly we played in this game and
Yeah,
how we were absolutely not prepared to play.
you can't evaluate the way the team is playing based off their record or based on if they win a game or not. Because if we win this game, we would have won, what, 5 out of 6 games? Five that are against pretty mediocre teams. You know, the Hornets are in the playoffs right now, but they were missing Gordon Hayward and Cody Zeller, so they were missing guys. And then one loss to the Phoenix Suns that we blew because we played stupid basketball in the fourth quarter. Like, and showcase a lot of the same random flaws that for some reason we can't get over. And then we, barely beat the Timberwolves twice in a row? That's not playing good basketball. I don't care that they would have won 5 out of 6 or that they've won 4 out of 6 as it is right now. They're not playing good basketball. They might be playing their worst basketball of the season. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. If they play this game against a playoff team, though, they lose by 30. If they play the game they did last night against a playoff team, they lose by 20 to 25. Okay? If they had one of the hardest schedules in the league to this point instead of one of the easiest, they're probably below 500. Okay? That's why you can't just sit here and base how the team is playing based off their record, based off the fact that they're 22-16. Or they were 21-14, or 22-15 going into this game. Almost 23-15. Like, screw the record. Watch the game. Like, it's honestly not that hard to simply watch the game and objectively analyze what you're watching.
Mm-hmm.
But too many people have too much emotion like invested to be objective, and too much bias towards the coaching to be truly objective, and they just can't see things for how they are because they are too biased, or have the rose-colored glasses on, so to say, or it's. And that's fine. If people want to be like that, they're fine. But those are the same people out here like calling us out and acting like we're morons and even saying it. And you got Dan Moran calling us, people who want more ball movement, Neanderthals, basically, when he called us flat earthers a year ago, and then ranted at me in my DMs because I didn't like it. Like, I am tired of that crowd, not because necessarily of the way they view basketball, but because of the way they act combined with the way they view basketball and the way they go after anybody who views the game objectively.
Well, Tori, you can't possibly talk about it objectively because you're not in every practice. You don't know what he's teaching them. So
yeah. I'm actually I can't with the pro stops excuses. I know you're bringing them up to show how silly they are, but I'm gonna lose my mind.
Let me just say something about the injuries since you were touching upon them a few minutes ago. So our great Blazer beat reporter had this to say when asked, do you have any timeline for Giles' return? He says, I know basically nothing about this injury other than what you surmise in response. So, do you want to ask what's going on? Maybe find that out. Isn't that your freaking job? And then Jason Quick had an article about when CJ McCollum would possibly be back, and earlier today, and Casey Holdall quote tweeted Jason Quick and said, "At this point, he's back when he's back." What great information, Casey! Thank you for all this information you're sharing with us about the team. That's great.
He's back when he's back. Wow, I didn't realize he would be back when he came back. Thank you for educating me, Casey. God, yeah, dude, I don't know. I was listening to the Valley guys the other day, and I don't know, and we talked with them, and they don't have much focus on the Suns from their media, but I mean, it's a sports town, so sometimes I wonder if it's like, if we had 4 professional sports teams here, if people would be a little bit, hold the coaching and the organization to a little higher standard. But since it's like basically our only sports team of the 4 major pro sports, it's they get a pass, and it's kind of like the soccer mom mentality, so to say. I don't know. I do wonder about that, and Yeah, I don't know. It's just funny to like listen to like other teams that are just like don't have these problems, and instead their problem is apparently DeAndre Ayton doesn't have enough testosterone or something. I don't know, but and that they need to trade him. But like I don't know, they love their coach. Monty Williams is great. They love their front office. They don't have problems with their media, and I'm just sitting here envisioning like, wow, what if it was like that for us? It seems so like impossible for us. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's just hard to even like imagine it being that way for us, like it is for some other fan bases.
And I just want to, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I just want to say, if you're the type who are saying, "Oh God, look at these guys, they're so critical," like I hate this crap, like why can't you just root for the team? I got that one last night too, like. Try not complaining and actually cheer for the team once. Maybe it'll be better for you. It's like, dude, shut up. Like, I don't watch games that way. I analyze them like I'm playing or like a coach or something. I'm not saying that I can play the game better than these guys or coach better than these guys, but that's how I watch the game. I break it down in that way. I am looking for what they are doing, like, and what adjustments they're making, what offense they're running, all this kind of stuff. And I don't know what just happened to my camera. So like it's fine if you want to just root for them and cheer and like you're fine. Like you can move on about your day after this game and just be like, oh well, they lost to Minnesota, no big deal. Hard to beat a team twice, like Dame said. Thanks, Blockboy, for that quote.
God, I'm pissed.
That's exactly what Dame said in his press conference today. Is hard to beat a team 2 nights in a row. It's like, yeah, you take that stupid attitude from your coach. And you're defending your coach, and this is how he wants to play it off instead of taking some accountability for how his team is coached. Instead, he just tricks his players into thinking like, oh no, it's really hard to beat a team twice. There's not much we can do. We don't have CJ and Nurk, but they're coming back soon, guys. Just hold on. It's like I can't watch a game like this and think, oh, you know what? They gave it their best. It's just really hard to win 2 nights in a row against the worst team in the league. That's just really hard to do. So good job, guys. Great job. So I'm going to break it down and tell you guys what I saw wrong, like what we're doing wrong and all this kind of stuff. And like, if you don't like that, fine. Just don't come at me and try to tell me that like I'm not a fan because I'm like critical or whatever. And it's like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm the one keeping it real or whatever. Like, I don't care. Just don't come at me. I'm not coming at people like, unless I'm provoked on Twitter. So like, so just stay out of my mentions and I'll stay out of yours. That's how I feel.
Yep. I am very disappointed with that Dame quote. I'm probably more disappointed in that quote than the way they lost the game because it makes me wonder if it's, I don't know, like, bruh, true contenders would not lose to an 8-30 team and sit here saying it's just hard to beat them twice in a row. Bruh, you play 7-game series in the playoffs, and you're sitting here saying it's hard to beat the same team twice in a row when they were 8-29 going into these 2 games. Are you kidding me? They almost beat us twice in a row. So for him to sit here and say that, I don't care if he was like, yeah, you know, there's no excuses, we gotta do this, blah, blah. I don't even care. The fact that he said that is just ridiculous to me. And it's got me like, I don't know. I mean, maybe if Dame doesn't want to win a championship that bad, maybe it's a good thing, because maybe he would have left. I don't know. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me, because he seems like a guy who's like truly competitive, right, and wants to win. But then it's just, he comes out with quotes like this, and it's just like, bro, we're screwed from a mentality standpoint if our leader is saying this. And if Dame like operates like this, man, because like I don't think he operates like this, or I haven't thought, but now I don't know. I guess maybe I'm starting to question it. Then, if he operates like that, he ain't the best leader in the league, like he's been talked about. Come on, man.
Blockboy has a good point too. Our next 2 opponents are both the same situation. So what, we're just going to go into them thinking, you know what, if we can just split both of these games out of 4 at home, that's good, because you can't really do much better than winning one and losing one when you play a team twice in a row. But
yeah. I mean, I'm tweeting at him. He probably won't respond, but you know, Whatever. Just frustrated, man.
Well,
I don't even want to listen to him actually say it.
Yeah. Well, let me just find out who said this. It might have been Block Boy too, but oh yeah, it was Block Boy. So he said that he was also talking about how the referees were bad, saying they shot 40 free throws and 19 free throws. Let me just say this: Dame's got to stop with that crap. Yes, he is not getting calls. Yes, he is getting fouled. Like he had a drive at, like around the 3-point line in the first half where he got like both of his arms grabbed and he loses the ball and it leads to a fast break on the other end. But like, dude, at what point are you going to realize that standing there and complaining about every freaking time you drive is not helping this team become better defensively? Like, forget about it. Then talk to the refs at the next dead ball or whatever, or at halftime, or do something different. Like, this is not working, complaining every time you drive that there should have been a foul called or that you got hit on the head or whatever. I recognize that you are doing it, and I have a temper. I get mad at the refs too when I play, but like, it's costing this team possessions, and in a close game like this, possibly cost us the game when you don't get back on defense and you're whining about the refs.
Yep. It's hard to beat a team two times in a row. Excuses just, it pisses me off maybe more than any excuse possible. Because you play 7-game playoff series.
Yep. And it was like the oh, well, if you could just go 500 on the road, that's great, right? After we lose to Golden State. Oh, another back-to-back situation. That was the other one this year, right? Where we handily beat Golden State, and then we just let Steph Curry do whatever he wants the next game and score 62 points, and we get our butts kicked and don't look like the same team from 2 days earlier. Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, I don't want Dame to leave. I'm not saying that like he's the problem necessarily. It's just like, at some point, like, because he's had that same thing, like, oh, the other team just wanted it more. We need to be more consistent with our efforts and stuff like that. And I don't want those excuses. I want, I don't know. I want people who want to, like, not use excuses. Just like say, like, there is no excuses. We need to be better. We should not have lost this game. And I don't know. It's just.
Yeah.
It's just become numb that they have all these excuses all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. And quote of the night, apparently, according to the Blazers Twitter account tweeted out 15 seconds ago from Gary Trent Jr. is, watch film, see what we did wrong, fix our mistakes, and go from there. How many times have we heard that this year? We've heard that all season long after every loss. Guess what? These issues are not better. Our style of play is not better. We're still stagnant as hell. Our defense is still trash. We still make all these same mistakes. So I'm so tired of hearing that. We're just going to watch film and see what we did wrong and fix our mistakes. Well, you've been saying that all season. You haven't been fixing anything. So quit talking about it and do it. Like, yeah, honestly, I hope they do that. So it's not even a problem necessarily with what he said. It's that, you know, the team says this and then doesn't back it up with any action. With any, you know, actual progress.
We got Jeremy and Jarian's dad in here talking crap to us. So that's cool.
Jeremy and Jarian's? What?
Former Blazer Harvey Grant. No. I don't. It's not really him. I was just joking. But someone named Harvey Grant in the chat. Why don't you guys just enjoy basketball, man? Gotta realize Lakers and Celtics win half the rings. Enjoy the process.
Oh, why even try, guys? We just have. Positive. See, this is that mentality that I've been talking all show about. That, you know, loser, non-contender mentality. Lakers and Celtics win a lot of championships. So why even hold this team to its standard of trying to win a championship? Well, you guys just enjoy being, you know, a middle-of-the-pack team. Because we shouldn't be a middle-of-the-pack team, bruh. We got the best player in franchise history. We got a pretty damn good roster. We're literally shooting ourselves in the foot with a bunch of fixable mistakes that if we fixed, I think we could contend. So that's frustrating. And if you don't get frustrated with that, then you don't want to win. You don't want the Blazers to win a championship anywhere near as bad as I do. as I do, because if you wanted this team to really win a championship, you would be extremely frustrated with the team making a bunch of fixable mistakes all season long, talking about, we're going to fix it, we're just making these mistakes, we'll fix it, and then not fixing it, and costing themselves a chance to possibly contend because of all these fixable mistakes. That would frustrate the hell out of you if you wanted to truly win a championship, in my opinion. So, I mean, you can have that mentality. I don't care. But you can't attack our mentality for us wanting the team to win a damn championship, because honestly, I think that's the point of being a fan. You want the team to do as good as possible. Yeah, you can enjoy the journey, but at some point the journey gets stale and the journey it's a treadmill, right? And I'm tired of being on the treadmill, right? We get a new coach, new GM, they struggle for a bit. I'd be fine, okay, they're figuring things out with a new coach and a new GM. But we've seen the same thing for like 5-6 years, and at this point, I'm tired of it, I'm done. You got somebody knocking?
I think one of my kids is going crazy in the room next to me.
Just like us. But yeah, I just don't like that mentality.
I want to address Harvey, man. What did I just say? Let me root for the team how I want to root. Let me deal with it the way I want to deal with. Why would you come in here and on our show and call me out for the way I like to watch basketball? And I cannot just sit here and be like, oh, the Blazers were 34 and 41 last year. Oh, great. Yay, we almost got to 500. Woohoo! Like, we made the 8th seed, and we almost lost. Thank goodness Karis LeVert didn't make that shot, right? And all this stuff. Oh, we lost to the Clippers when they sat Kawhi Leonard and Paul George didn't play in the second half. Like, oh, that's so awesome, though. We almost won if Dame just made those free throws. I don't root that way. Don't call me out for my crap. I don't care about you. You root for the team however you want. If that makes you happy, fine. Do it. Just don't tell me how to root for the team, man. This is how I view basketball. If you don't like it, don't watch our show. And just move on, man. Like I said, there's Blazers Outsiders. They will sugarcoat everything for you and give you all those things you want to hear so you don't feel bad about yourself or whatever. That's fine. I don't handle it that way. If you don't like that, I don't care. Like, be a hater, whatever. Just, like, don't comment in our show then, man. Like, just go away. Like, we don't need that kind of negativity and stuff. And I know we're being negative, but just don't tell us how to run our show or how we should react to things and stuff. Like, either you like it and you want to listen or you don't. Like, I don't care. But it's so frustrating when people. I just got through ranting about how I don't like people coming at me about my opinion. Like, I have my opinions. I say what I feel. If you don't like it and you want to have a discussion about it, great. But don't say, like, oh, you shouldn't feel that way. Like, I don't tell you how to feel, man. Just go away.
Facts. That's one of my favorite rants of yours ever, because it's facts, man. I don't understand why people get so upset with others, like, being harder on the team because they want this team to... everybody wants this team to win, right? And some people want this team to, really want this team to contend, or are frustrated because they don't feel like we're making progress there. You don't have to necessarily think that way, but I don't understand why people have such a lack of respect for that.
Yeah.
Because we're technically on the same side. We want this team to win a championship, right? We're frustrated because we really want this team to win a championship, but we feel like we have a bunch of issues that are fixable that are holding us back from that chance. I don't understand why people have such an issue with that. They can disagree on the opinions, but where it's coming from is not a bad place. I don't get it.
And this is the other thing too. Like, so we can break down stuff and be like, so someone will say, we need Aaron Gordon or Draymond Green to make this play or whatever. So then we show 5 clips of Carmelo Anthony doing the same thing, and we can say, well, it looks like maybe Melo can do these things. Like, maybe they should try it more often when Dame's getting trapped, or maybe use him as the outlet, as the short roll guy. Like, they say we don't have a short roll guy. Like, maybe explore some things there. Little in high school was a ball handler, but then I see Danny Moraine tweet tonight, like, no one could have said that Little could ever put the ball on the floor and make a runner, because if you're saying you thought that, you're a liar or whatever. When, we've been on this show talking about how he can score inside and off the dribble before, we talked about it from the time we drafted him. Actually, before we drafted him, when we were hoping he fell to us. But it's frustrating because, it's never okay, so we talk about how the coaching could get better and what we can do defensively, and you bring out the clipboard and bring it out, and then you just have guys like their only argument is like, oh, you guys are being too critical. You shouldn't do. You should be happy they won all these games without Dame and GJ or whatever. It's like okay, well, do you want to? Can you argue against anything we said? Like, come on, have a discussion with us. If you think our opinion should be happy about a game like this, tell us what we're watching that's not truthful to what we're telling you guys that should make us happy with the way they performed tonight. Because I don't feel like there is anything you can tell me. But if you want to try, that's fine, and try to explain like, oh well, this situation they tried this and this and it didn't work out or whatever. Like if you want to combat me that way, that's great. I will discuss basketball with you like 20 hours a day. Like I love that stuff. But don't just tell us that like we're wrong. Like the way you're thinking about basketball is wrong or whatever. Like we can think about it however we want, and until you come up with a way to contradict what we're saying or to have a discussion with us about what we're actually saying instead of just all this surface level stuff. I'm just so sick of it. It's beyond the point where it's like the excuses are lame. They're just totally lame, and I hate it. And now like Block Boy's telling me another quote that Dame had is like horrible. This is absolutely disgusting.
What did Dame say now? I don't see where.
He said, it's the NBA, a team not just going to lay down and let you beat them. We win last night, we lost tonight. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. He's saying we have to watch it because he wants to see us explode.
We'll watch it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And this is the danger of keeping Stotts around, is because like then the people start to believe his crap. And I'm still waiting for the time like, you know what? Coming to the press conference, hey guys, this one's on me. I did not have them ready to have a game tonight. But instead it's like, oh, can't beat the same team twice, sir.
Yeah. All right, we'll watch it, Block Boy. I am not looking forward to this, but here we go. Dame, after this shameful game.
Hello, Dame. I would like to ask you, what was the biggest lesson of tonight's game and how you worried as a team about the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter?
Good question, actually.
It's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row. Mm-hmm. We played them.
What's the biggest lesson? What went wrong in the first 6 minutes of the fourth quarter? It's hard to beat a team 2 times in a row. Shut up! Oh my God, Dame, no, dude. Why are we watching this, Block Boy? Why are you making us do this, man? Why are we listening to you? Oh, guys, like I want to be mad at Dame, but it's like I feel like it's Stotts, you know? It's like Dame, no, dude. Oh, I don't even know how to feel. Like.
Here's what bothers me about that. It's like, so he asked, what lessons can you learn? So it's hard to beat a team twice isn't a lesson.
Yeah.
The lesson is it's inexcusable how we played. We have to be better on both ends of the court, and this will not fly. And we absolutely cannot play like this. Not, oh, you know what? Oh, they're an NBA team, and they just made shots.
Guess what? If you can't beat a team twice in a row, you got to win game 1 of every series, because then you'll have to win game 3, game 5, and game 7. If you lose game 1, you might as well not play the rest of the series if you can't beat the same team twice in a row.
Yeah.
But we've seen them do that before, so I don't know. I don't know where this narrative comes from. What did Reese say?
Reese said it's like telling a dog no, Dave, no.
Oh, goodness. All right, let's continue on.
Oh, great.
Back-to-back nights, and the first one was a dog fight, and in that first game, I think they built confidence and they felt good about what they did. They just weren't able to win the game. We was able to pull it out with our experience in those moments. And then tonight, we just, I thought we gave a good effort defensively, but offensively, it just wasn't a great night. We didn't play great offensively. But we didn't let our offense struggle and affect our defense. I thought we continued to defend and continue to compete on that end. But I mean, they shot 40 free throws to 19. I think we shot 19 free throws. They shot almost 40 free throws. There was a lot of timely whistles. Calls got 2 different plays reversed down the stretch. I mean, it was a lot of factors.
Shouldn't have been in that position, bro. Shouldn't have been in that position. He asked what you guys can learn from this, and all you did was make some damn excuses. That's a minute 10 of this 2-minute 50-second interview. At least we're almost halfway done with it. Because if it's going to be like this, oh my goodness. Bruh, he asked you, what can you do better? You just make a bunch of excuses. This French, oh God, it's... Dame's been brainwashed, bro. I don't know, man. Dame's been brainwashed. Stotts is just evil, man. He's brainwashed Dame. I mean, this franchise is just loser's mentality, honestly.
Great point in the chat. I just lost it. Hold on. I want to give this person full credit. God, where'd it go? Okay, NYC Kick says, if it's hard to beat a team twice in a row, how did Golden State beat them 4 times in a row without KD? Why did we get swept by the Pelicans? Why did we get swept by Golden State the year before that? Why did we get swept other times? That's a great point. Why would we ever get swept in the playoffs if that's the mentality, right? Shouldn't we, after we win a game, be like, oh, you know what? Every series should be 4-3 then, right? Like you said, and you just have to win the first one, right?
Why isn't every
we
series 4-3?
We lost 4 in a row to the Lakers, like Strider says, yeah.
How's that possible? I thought it's really hard to be, no matter how good or bad the teams are, because obviously the Timberwolves are trash, that is irrelevant. You play the same team twice in a row. It's just really hard to beat them twice in a row, I thought. So I don't understand how we are getting swept almost every year.
And then, people will say, well, the Lakers are really good. Well, we should be like
compared to the Timberwolves
to us last year should be us to the Timberwolves right now. So don't make that excuse against the Timberwolves, and then not use that excuse for not beating the Lakers in 4 games or whatever.
Yep. The thing is, though, the Lakers have a championship mentality.
Yep.
We don't.
Next question's coming from Aaron Fentress with the Oregon.
Oh, this will be good.
Yeah, I mean, you guys had a lot of good momentum coming out of the first half of the season. You're 1-2 to start, lost to the team that has the worst record in the league. I know it's just 3 games in. I know it's back-to-back on the road, et cetera, et cetera. And like you said last night, that's an NBA team with some good players. But what does this type of performance mean in terms of where you guys are? Are you guys stuck in mud at all, waiting for CJ and Dirk to come back, or is it just one of those nights? How would you characterize this? Because a lot of fans are, obviously freaking out about something like this.
Lost the game. What else to say? Obviously, we do what we do for our fans. We love our fans, but we're the ones out there playing. It's the NBA. You're not just gonna go out there and just because a team has a bad record, they're not gonna lay down and let you beat them.
Nobody's saying that. Oh my God, bruh. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying they're going to lay down and let you win. Like, what is he getting off on? This is the weirdest Dame. Nobody's saying they're going to let down and let you win. They are a terrible team missing their second and third best player. So you can't even use the as an injury excuse. We are far more talented than them, right? I mean, maybe he doesn't think so. I don't know. But...
way more.
We're the ones who go out there and play the game. What the hell type of point is he trying to make? We're the ones who go out there and play the game. A team is not just going to let down. Bro, nobody's saying that. So we're the ones who go out there and play the game. Bro, I don't think any fan is, that's very upset with this loss is coming at it with the mentality that they wow, you guys lost to a team that didn't try. I haven't seen one person say that. So, I mean, we'll listen to the rest of his answer, but my goodness, I already hate this answer.
Obviously, we do what we do for our fans. We love our fans, but we're the ones out there playing. It's It's the NBA. You're not just going to go out there and just because a team has a bad record, they're not going to lay down and let you beat them. That's the way it works. You lose games sometimes. We not losing games on purpose. I wouldn't say we stuck in mud. It's just you gotta earn.
Nobody said you're losing games on purpose, bruh. Sorry, I keep pausing it, but my God, dude. I think he gets around to finally answering this question, though.
We not losing games on purpose. I wouldn't say we stuck in mud. It's just you gotta earn wins. We won last night. We lost tonight. I don't think it's really a big deal. I think if you watch the game and the team shoots 40 free throws, and then the rook Anthony Edwards, he had a great game. He scored 34 points. He made some big shots down the stretch. He was feeling confident. And that was that. It happens. It's the NBA. So people pissed off or got an issue with it. It happens all the time in the league. Utah went to Golden State today, and they're the number one team in the West, and got blasted. So
yeah, there's a big difference between Golden State, Dame, and Minnesota. That's the part you're kind of struggling with here. There's a difference between a Golden State team that is right now above 500 and a team that is 8-30. Bro, they hadn't even won a quarter of their games going into today. They're more than twice as bad as the Warriors. I mean, I guess the Jazz might be more than twice as good as us. I don't know, but bruh, that's not the same as this. Like, you guys lost to a team that was missing their second and third best players. That was 8-30 going into this game. The Utah Jazz losing to a Golden State Warriors team who has a Steph Curry on it, who is now 20-19, I believe, is not even remotely in the same ballpark.
And here's the thing. If you want to say this, like, if this is always your approach, that's fine. Like, I don't agree with that mentality, but, if that's how you want to play it, Dame's one of those guys who likes to keep it even keel as much as possible, and that's why he's so good in the clutch and stuff. So you got to take sometimes the good with the bad, I guess. But this isn't a case where, like, we lost a game early in the season and, like how many times do we have to say, oh, we just lost a game, we shouldn't have, like, whatever. Like, those, if this only happened once in every once in a while, like Utah's, they have, 10 losses on the year, like, whatever. Yeah. That's like, with an
extremely, here's the thing, they played one of the hardest schedules in the league, we've played one of the easiest, and we have 6 more losses than them right now. We're 6 games behind them right now. They played one of the hardest schedules in the league. They haven't really dropped any games to teams that they should have beat. And like Golden State, like, yeah, that's a team that they're better than, but Golden State is still an above 500 team and like a playoff caliber team. They're 20-19. They'd be like tied for 6th, like a game behind 4th in the Eastern Conference. They're a playoff caliber team. So that's different than us losing to the Minnesota freaking Timberwolves. Like, I don't understand why this is so, like, I don't know. And you can look at a lot of games that we shouldn't have lost. The Wizards at home, the hapless Wizards at home. We blew a 20-point lead to the Chicago Bulls with Dame, CJ, Nurkic, everybody healthy. I mean, I'm blanking on some too. Like, I don't know. We've had a lot more of those than Utah, so Utah gets a break, and Golden State is not Minnesota.
Well, it's just, like, I don't even know how to phrase this, but they talk so, like, about this year we can't have those let-up stretches. We can't have those games where we do this. We can't get off to a bad start, and they did all those things. Like, it's so frustrating. And then now it's like, instead of saying, like, yeah, we're putting ourselves in a tough spot when we lose games like this. Instead, they're just like, well, it's the NBA, we lose. Like, no, it's not like we were trying to lose. Like, there's nothing else we could have done, right? Like, it's just so frustrating. It's like, I don't know. I think he's gone, like, overboard defending the coach. And but, like, a lot of people are commenting, it doesn't even seem like Dame. Like, I don't know. But he's always been the type, like, oh, don't worry, we'll make the playoffs. Like, we'll go on a run here. That's what we always do. But yeah. So I actually, I I've been trying to find this for weeks, but I wanted to find that actual quote from Stotts about how he got input from his assistants and then decided not to change anything a few years ago. So I actually went back and listened to several media sessions from like 2015 to 2019, basically.
Damn, you're dedicated.
And like the media day availability. And you know what he said in almost every single one? Stotts.
What?
Oh, the offense will just work itself out. Oh, the offense will be fine. We got good players. The offense will be good no matter what we do. Like, never like, oh, I want to try this on offense, or like, let's do like this or that or whatever. And that's how they're being coached, and that's why we haven't seen any kind of creativeness since Aldridge left, really. It's really sad. I'm like more depressed. Thanks a lot, Block Boy.
Bro, you wrap up everything, like including the mentality impact I think Stotts has on this team. He's the worst coach in the league, in my opinion. For us, for a rebuilding team, I think he's fine. You know, those excuses fly and whatnot. And for a rebuilding team, I think he's a good coach. But when you look at X's and O's wise, he's terrible. The mentality impact he has on the team, like his mentality and the way he like leads the team, is also terrible for a team trying to contend. Absolutely terrible. And the X's and O's gets exposed mightily in the playoffs. He is about as bad as you can get, in my opinion, for a head coach of a team trying to contend. He's about as bad as you can get.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just an X's and O's thing. It's all the excuses, and you know, I mean, you got Dame sounding like Stotts now, and I feel like that's not Dame's spirit, man. Like, I don't know. It's just like, bruh, it's like, it's not a big deal. We just lost to the worst team in the league who is injured, you know, but it's not a big deal because it's hard to beat teams twice in a row, bro. Like, are you kidding me? That's such a loser's mentality. That's not the mentality of a team trying to contend. You think you'd hear LeBron saying that? You think you'd hear even Kevin Durant saying that? Hell no. You would never hear either of those guys saying that. No, it'd be, we played bad tonight. We shouldn't have lost. We got some things we need to work on. They'd be mad. Not just indifferent, like, we lost, it's cool, we beat them yesterday. Bruh, get out of here with that. Oh, God, this organization is broken to me, Eric. Like, the way it's functioning is broken. And I don't know if it's just Stotts, or if they also need to just get new ownership and get rid of Olshey, too. I don't know if, like, some of it might be a little bit Dame, but I'm not going to go there just yet because I don't think it is, you know, Dame's, like, true mentality to think the way, like, Terry Stotts does. I just think Terry Stotts has broken this organization. It's a shame. It's a shame.
My mom brings up a great point, and this is only from a few weeks ago, so, like, I don't want to fully dismiss this at all, so I want to mention it, is that there was that article, you know, a few weeks ago about Dame dealing with a lot of personal stuff too, but that doesn't, I don't know, to me these answers to the question don't have anything to do with like personal stuff. It's just like excuse based.
You're talking, I mean,
but he has had a rough
I mean, he has had a rough, like, that's why I'm not going there and saying that. It's just like, I don't see how having a rough like going makes you like change the way you think about a sport. I don't know. I mean, like, maybe, but I don't know.
And see, this
team has had this mentality for a while, it's felt like. So I don't think it's like him answering like this is tied to that. So that's why I'm like frustrated with it.
This is why I get so frustrated though with the people who say like, oh, Dame doesn't want to play off ball. Dame doesn't want to get open shots. He prefers to shoot with two guys on him, a step back 30-footer, you know? Like it's Dame has been convinced that that's the only way he can win. Like he has to do all this crazy stuff to win. Like, he doesn't realize Mike Brown, the coach, the assistant coach on Golden State, went to Dame a couple years ago and told him, look, dude, you have to get your coaches to let you play off the ball and get easier shots. Otherwise, you're just going to get shut down in the playoffs, and it's too hard. It's too easy to defend you. Like, look, this is exactly our game plan and how you can combat that and become an even better player than you are. And Dame was like he even quoted that and said like, it's just not what we do. It's not like I don't play off ball or whatever. And that's not him saying he can't do it or won't do it or wouldn't like it. He just has been ingrained that they can't do it for some reason. And like we've seen, I don't know if you finally watched that play I said to you, but like there's numerous examples of it working out pretty well, getting him good shots when he does play off ball. And it's just really frustrating.
Yeah.
Gordon, it happened like about a year and a half or so ago. Was that article? I think it was by Jason Quick. Just I'll try to find it for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just frustrated and got a headache, honestly. This team has officially given me a headache tonight. Anyway.
Yeah, it's tough.
So. No, I'm not watching the Stotts interview. Sorry, Shermans.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to put it on the stream either if it's on the Blazers app. Like, I don't want to hear Stotts say all the things Dame did. I got a headache from that Dame interview. So if you guys want my head to explode, then... It's on the app. I don't know how to do that.
We just can't play it on.
I don't want to, honestly. I have a headache from that Dame interview, and I don't... The fact that people are in here rooting for my head to explode, man, Oh my god.
What? Gordon, that's funny. When we get below 500, then we'll make a big push for the stretch and make that 8 seed. Yeah.
Yeah. People just want my head to explode for entertainment purposes. I get it. But honestly, for my mental health, I do not want to watch. I do not want to watch that Stotts interview. I got a headache right now. I barely slept last night. I am just not in the mood for it. So apologies. But honestly, I couldn't even do it anyway because it's on the app. Because they know that I don't know, the YouTube video would get a ton of dislikes. So that's probably why.
Watch the Pacers part.
Huh?
Okay, so Malcolm sent this to us on Twitter. He says, so Kawhi today said he's very concerned with the Clippers' lack of consistency. If you want to have a chance at anything, you've got to be consistent. So he's saying that's what Dame should have said instead. But
yep. See, you wouldn't see Kawhi saying that.
Well, the problem is we've heard, like you said, that I believe Kawhi's actions will speak for him when he comes out the next game and is consistent from, in a long stretch of games after this one. Whereas with this team, I don't understand like why they even say stuff like we're going to be a top 5 defense the rest of don't even say that crap because it's not going to happen. It's not true. This is so dumb.
Yeah. Yep. So, I don't know. This team, looking ahead, is not going to go better than 2-2 over their next 4. It's just not possible because they play the Pelicans twice in a row, and then they play the Mavericks twice in a row, I wonder if the Pelicans beat us twice in a row, if you'll hear, I wonder what the answers will be then, because right now it's just so hard to beat a team twice in a row. So, I mean, we should at least win 2 games and shouldn't win more than 2. Like we're gonna be, according to the team, we're gonna be 24-18 after these next 4 games. Anything else is just extremely unlikely.
If they either lose both games to the Pelicans or both games to the Mavericks, we have to spam like Dwight James or Jason Quick on Twitter to ask Stotts and Dame afterwards, like, how did they beat you 2 in a row? I thought it was hard to win 2 games in a row against the team. Like, why did you guys lay over and let them beat you twice?
Yeah. So yeah.
So I would love to. Yeah.
We play the Pelicans on Tuesday and Thursday. Then we play the Mavericks on Friday and Sunday. So 4 games next week. March Madness starts that Friday, so I will be enjoying that. Enjoying basketball for once.
Unless Gonzaga loses to the 16th.
Yeah, shut up. Come on now.
My Beavs are in it.
Huh?
My Beavs made it.
Yeah, I mean, your
They
beef's
tried to
sitting there
choke
at
that game.
12, man. I mean, I don't know. I forget who they're even playing, but yeah, good luck.
They're playing Tennessee.
Yeah, hopefully you
It's
guys
a
can get
12-5
a
matchup.
win.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys can. I don't know. I'm picking Tennessee in my bracket, to be honest, but I mean, I don't. It would be cool to see Oregon State win. It was cool that they made it.
Tennessee's the better team, but
Yeah,
it's still cool. Don't get many opportunities to have them in a bracket. So.
Yeah, for real. It's like if Washington State was in a bracket.
Had that one random year with Gary Payton the second.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
Did you guys lose the first round as a 7?
Yeah. 7.
So to VCU, I think.
Yep.
And now Oregon is the 7 playing VCU as the 10. So we'll see if Oregon can take care of business there. That'll be fun. I'll be live tweeting all throughout that. I have a $20 bracket poll if you guys want to join. If you're interested in joining, hit me up.
That's a tough. If they get by a VCU, for all Luke Garza's faults, that's a tough matchup for the Ducks.
Yeah, but apparently, I don't know. I've seen people say, "Oh, they have a path to a pretty easy path to the Elite Eight," and it's like, okay, hold up, come on now. They did beat Oregon State, so I wouldn't say they have a path to anything at this moment.
What seed is Illinois?
Illinois is one seed.
Huh?
Illinois is a 1 seed.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're the 3rd best team right now, basically.
Nice.
So Ben will...
Where's Ben been?
I don't know.
Ben.
Being an Illinois fanboy. But yeah,
Are you feeling pretty confident?
Yeah, I mean, weird year, but I mean, this team is better than any Gonzaga team ever. So yeah, I mean, Malcolm, Gonzaga already beat Kansas by double digits this year, so I don't know why you would do that, but I mean, good luck with that pick, bruh. Just picking the Blue Bloods. A lot of people just pick the Blue Bloods just because it's the teams they recognize. Isaac, I don't even know what the hell you're saying, man. Oh, I don't know. I just have no energy right now. I'll go through the scores, I guess, like very quickly, and then I'm probably gonna sign off. I'm just dead tired and not in the best mood. This has just been the most frustrating loss of the season for sure. The Thunder beat the Grizzlies 128-122. Poku had 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Moses Brown has been balling. He's averaging like 9 points per game and 11 rebounds per game in like 23 minutes a game during his 3 games in March. So it would be nice to have him on a 2-way contract right now, to be honest. Because he's been actually serviceable for the Thunder. Tonight he had 13 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, a block in 24 minutes. So good to see him doing well in OKC. Ja Morant had 22 for the Grizzlies. Other action, Warriors beat the Jazz. We already touched on that. Steph had 32 points, 9 assists. Rudy Gobert had 24 points, 28 rebounds, and an assist. The Sixers had they beat the Spurs by a score of 134-99 and blew them out. Tobias Harris had 23 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. Drew Eubanks had 17 points. There you go, former Oregon State Beaver, balling out for the Spurs today in a 35-point loss. The Heat beat the Magic 102-97. Jimmy Butler had 29 points, 9 assists. Vucevic had 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Big game for him. But it comes in a loss. The Hawks beat the Cavs 100-82. John Collins had 22 points. Celtics beat the Rockets 134-107. Jason Tatum had 23 points. The top performer on ESPN for the Rockets is Kenyon Martin Jr., who had 21 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Was a little surprised to see that name. The Bulls beat the Raptors.
He's been playing well, though.
Yeah, Yeah. The Bulls beat the Raptors 118-95. They moved to 17-20. Raptors fall to 17-22. That's didn't expect the Bulls to be ahead of the Raptors at this point. Patrick Williams had 23 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists in the win. He's been like quietly very good. Like, I don't think anybody's clowned that pick anymore. He's looked impressive there in Chicago, in my opinion. Norman Powell had 32 points in the loss. He's been playing really good basketball lately, but the Raptors have not been. The Pelicans beat the Clippers 135-115. Zion had 27 points. Kawhi had 23. That is our next opponent, the Pelicans. They are just all over the place, it seems like. Yeah, I mean, guess just split the next two and then split the two after that. I guess that's what to expect from this team. Yeah, so anything else you want to end off with?
No, I'll try to find that Mike Brown, Damian Lillard article, but I tried searching for it for a little bit, couldn't find it. But yeah, it was from a couple years ago. It was either after we swept them in the Western Conference Finals or at an All-Star game or like at a Team USA thing or something. Mm-hmm. He like took him aside and was like trying to give him advice, whatever. But
it was just like, nah, we don't do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so we'll have the post-game show after. I'm so glad we have we do stream tomorrow, but it's an off day, so that's cool. Get to talk about my brutal picks against the spread record on Thursday. Oh man, I need CJ and Nurkic back. Just for my sanity, man. I'm losing my mind. We'll stream tomorrow, Blazers Uprise Live, over on our second channel. We'll be going live around 3:30 to 4 in that time span. And then we'll have the post-game stream on Tuesday. That's what you have coming up for the next couple of weeks, or in the next couple of days. Follow us on Twitter at ToryJonesYT for me, at HoopShock for Eric, at Blazers Uprise YT for the channel. Thank you to my mods, Trevin, Reese, Westbrook. Shout out to all my channel members and everyone who tuned in today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting us rant.
Yeah, this is like the first post-game stream where I honestly don't feel any better after ranting. Normally I feel better, but my goodness, I'm just super frustrated with the fact that we just with what we did tonight. So hopefully the team can turn it around. I mean, I've said that numerous times this season. So, just fingers crossed, I guess, and pray that they figure some things out. Anyway, yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your Sunday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will catch you guys tomorrow on Blazers Uprise Live. So until then, have a good night. As always, peace out. Go Blazers.